So, hi Katrina.
Hi,
Thank you
Gilly.
for joining us. Katrina is joining us from the BRLO Craft Beer Brewery in Berlin, which she happens to be the founder of. So, think about it. A girl in Berlin doing craft beer, which is wow on all sides. And yes, I am a fan. So, I will pass the mic on to Katrina. Please, if you haven't done so already, get the beer because we're going to have a Prost.
Thank you,
Katrina,
Gilly.
it's all yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Very nice to be joining you from Berlin. Yeah, I'm Katerina. I'm one of the three founders of BRLO. It's a very weird name. So it's basically the old Slavic origin of the name of Berlin, which means something like swampland. And we thought this would be a funny name for a brewery, for a beer brand, because you kind of, it changes, you can change the pronunciation with the length of the evening and the number of beers. So as you see, this is not a fake background. We're sitting in our brewery. It's a little bit cold. So we started BRLO about 6 years ago, really out of a crazy side idea. I didn't have any beer background, so I have a business background. Was working for a big media corporation in Germany. I was in between jobs, and I kind of didn't want to work for corporate anymore. And I was traveling in Australia, and I was drinking lots of craft beer, and I had so much fun discovering the craft beer scene there. And everything was so creative, and so many different beer styles and cool names. And basically at that moment I thought, this is interesting. Like, even though in Germany we're so proud of our beer heritage, if you go abroad, then it's basically cars, football, and beer. It's actually really boring. It's all kind of Pilsner and Hefeweizen, and it's I don't know. It's just like all the big brands. They look the same. It's not very emotional, not very fun. And I thought, okay, I would love to do something like that at some point in my life. Have a cool little beer brand. And I met a friend from uni again, and he actually wanted to have a father-son hobby. So he wanted to start home brewing with his dad, and they bought all these books and little brew kits. And so to this day, they've never brewed a single beer together, because basically the two of us started kind of running with the idea, and then we met a young brewmaster who then joined us in our endeavor. And basically that's how we started. So end of 2014, we developed the brand, and we kind of developed the first recipes. We didn't have our own brewery, but we basically contract brewed in other facilities. And then November 2014, so almost exactly 6 years ago, we started selling our first two beers out of our car trunk. And, people liked it. So bars and restaurants really liked it here in Berlin. And so we kind of thought after about 6 to 8 months, we thought, okay, proof of concept done. I think we should really start thinking about having our own brewery, because for me, like, beer needs a home. You need to have your own brewery. You need to be in touch with the raw materials. And so we started looking for spaces in Berlin. And I think what's really unique about our space, and I'm going to show you in just a second, I'm just going to take you with a laptop and show you the space, is, and there's also a lot of noise going on in the brewery, as you can hear. We build our entire brewery and gastronomy out of 38 used shipping containers. So there's no other wall structure except containers, which is really, really unique. So this structure houses the brewery, houses our restaurant, office space. I can tell you it was a nightmare to build, because nobody in Europe had ever constructed anything of this complexity out of containers. And the reason we did that was that the space we found is right in the middle of Berlin, right at Gleisdreieck Park in Kreuzberg. It's a beautiful space, but at some point there's going to be big construction. So at some point there's going to be 5 big office buildings, and we will have to move. So that's why we did the containers, and we will at some point pick up our entire building, our brewery, and just, move away. So I will take you on a quick tour. So as you can see, here are our tanks in the back. We really do a cool mix of German traditional styles that we reinterpret, like a Pilsner or a Helles, but also Berliner Weisse, which is a sour beer, which is really, one of the most original styles from Berlin. So this is our brew kit. And I don't know if you can see here already the container structures. So we do not just use the containers as a wall structure, but we also use every square meter inside. And so why I know there's still a pretty big lockdown going on in Israel, but what you really have to do is, it's very sunny here, you have to come to Berlin at some point and visit our beautiful beer garden. We have 600 seats out here, which is really a kick-ass beer garden. Here you can kind of see also the container structures of the building. I'm just going to do a quick tour. I hope the Wi-Fi is not leaving us. Quite a unique place, and I must tell you, it's not been super easy to establish the idea of craft beer in Germany, because a lot of Germans are like, but we have always done great beer. What do you mean? Why do we now need craft beer? But as I said, everything was kind of always a little bit the same style. And so for us, the most challenging thing is overcoming this perception of Germans thinking that the beer is already fantastic. So what we do is really we experiment with all different raw materials. We brew about 30 different beers a year. So we make sure that there's always something new, something fresh that we have in our program. And what we also do, really important here at our brew house, we came up with a completely new way of thinking about food related to craft beer. Because in Germany, I don't know how it is in Israel, but when you think about brew house cuisine, it's always like a big chunk of meat and potatoes with it. So it's always quite unhealthy. And so what we did here in our food program is we put vegetables at the center, at the focus. So when you open our menu, all you find is super beautiful veggie dishes that pair amazingly well with beer. You can of course always try like about 15 different beers of ours. And we do have meat, but it's kind of the side dish. So we can ask you, do you want meat with it? So we kind of twist that logic a little bit around. So, our brew house has been, quite successful in Berlin, and also people from the beer scene worldwide, I think, have kind of heard about this container project and the cuisine that we're doing here. So that's been very, very exciting. So we opened a second restaurant 2 years ago. We have a lot of new plans, so we will definitely open up more restaurants and more concepts related to our beer. We have a second big brewery now, also in Spandau, kind of a little bit outskirts of Berlin, where we produce all of our bottles. So there's definitely a whole new thing that we've planned. And obviously this year has been quite tough on beer sales, as you can imagine, especially because we're very heavily gastronomy focused. So we're kind of like switching right now and trying to go more into retail, more into off-trade, and coming up with creative ways of getting our beer direct to consumers. I think it's almost beer o'clock, guys. I would love if you want to follow us on Instagram, BRLO Beer, that's our account. I would love to have a few more followers from Israel there, or from all over the world right now, that will follow us. And I think, Gilly, it's almost time to cheers. I brought one of our new beers, Blurry Vision.
Wow.
In cans.
What is that?
What do you have?
I'm having an
hazy IPA.
Israeli Pils by the Jams. It's also a craft brewery. And yeah, I'm doing the same here. And everyone note you have to tilt the glass a little on the side because you do not want to foam, okay? So just a little here. This is the professional way. And can you explain what's this beer that you just crafted?
It's a hazy IPA. As you can see, it's super cloudy. It's almost like, looks like orange juice.
Nice.
And it doesn't have the bitterness that you usually have from an IPA, but it has all the fruitiness. So
Wow.
there is an insane amount of hops in there. And it has to be drunk super fresh. That's also why this beer is only available in cans. We're not going to put it in bottles because the cans keep it fresher. And it's my new favorite beer at the moment.
Cheers.
Prost.
And Prost.
Really.
And everyone
Prost to
join
everyone.
us. Prost.
Prost.
Wow, great. And Katrina, when you spoke, so first I'm opening up. If anyone has questions to Katrina, please send them over. Send them over, and scroll to Alon as well. And if anyone has a question, Daniel, good thing. Okay, yeah, but any questions? Please chat us on the stage if you have a question to Katrina. We'll be happy to address them. And Katrina, you mentioned matching food with beer. So are you working on the taste? So the beer will intensify the taste of the food and vice versa, or can you share a little bit about this?
Yeah. So what a lot of people don't realize is that beer is as complex as wine when it comes to the different tastes that it can have, and it's really interesting to pair different styles of beer with food. And we have also done like a dinner series where we invited 5 different breweries from Berlin, 5 different chefs from Berlin to really and they met 2 or 3 times before to really come up with dishes and pair them with the beers. And it's really, it's a marvelous experience. And also we offer this little food pairing where we just do tiny bits of food that really bring out the best in each, and show how it fits. And my most favorite combination is our Baltic Porter, which is a dark beer with a piece of black fermented garlic. Wow. It sounds horrible,
no, it sounds amazing.
But it's the most amazing pairing you've ever seen. Somebody, Gil is asking the percentage of the beer. So Blurry Vision has 6.5%.
Okay. And usually your strength range is between what to what percentage?
The lightest beers are our Berliner Weisse. That's 4%. And then we go up to, like right now, we're coming out with some barrel-aged beers, like an Imperial Stout and an Imperial Berliner Weisse that we aged for 6 months in different wine barrels. And there we have about 12 to 13%.
Amazing.
So it really ranges. And of course, we have an alcohol-free beer, which I don't know how it is in Israel, but like right now, alcohol-free beer is booming like crazy. But alcohol-free beer with taste, that's the most amazing. That's the most important thing.
Totally agree. Nate, Prost to you too, and Skol to Alon. Questions. Happy Pills concept, okay, from Shira. That's the Happy
this is
Pills.
This is our new blockbuster beer, and a lot of people don't realize the reference. So it's a little bit of a reference to the party life in Berlin as well, where you sometimes need happy pills, and but also it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun beer, and I think we all need a little bit of happy in 2020.
So wait, the beer has happy pill ingredients inside of it?
No, it's just the pills.
Okay, there's no police.
Just the name.
No police. At least I think there is none. So okay.
You can legally drink our happy pills.
So I'm just saying again, to be clear, everything is legal. There's no happiness, no ingredients. It's just if you drink beer, you get happiness in your heart.
Exactly.
And good food will make you even happier. So Katrina,
for sure.
Big thanks, and cheers again. And
great to connect with you guys.
I hope we will have BRLO beer soon in Israel. We're looking forward to it.
I hope so too. See you soon. Have fun.
Amen. Thank you.